Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe back, and I'm gonna do my monthly stat video for February because I do the weekly reading update once a week now on Sundays. I thought I still wanted to kind of do the monthly wrap up in a certain way, so I thought I'd just do a stats video. I think those are fun. I love seeing other people's stats, so I just thought I would do that as well. As I said, I did it in January and got a good response, so I thought I would do it again. So we'll see. I did actually write out this time most of my notes, so hopefully we'll get this right. So, in February, being a short month and a month where I worked a lot of overtime, so I didn't read quite as much as I normally would, I still met my goal, which was pretty awesome. So I read 4 books that I completed. So that doesn't sound too impressive. I did have a couple books that were on the go that I did not complete in that month. A couple of them I was pretty far into that I had stopped reading midway through the month because I was so busy with work I just couldn't focus on them, so I moved to lighter work. But those books are still hopefully I'll get to them in March, we'll see. But for the 4 books that I finished, you know, were, I mean, I still did 4. This is not my best, but I did also read 4 graphic novels, and I also did several rereads. So I did 3 audiobooks that were rereads and 1 physical book that was a reread. So, I mean, I did, if you count that, we're getting up into the 12 range that I finished, but I don't count graphic novels as books read on my list and on all my data stuff that I take, or on Goodreads. I don't count that. I never have, so I'm not going to start now. The rereads, I don't count a reread as a book read or those pages, unless it's something I haven't read for over 10 years, or, you know, so anything over 10 years, then I will recount those pages, because it's like I'm revisiting the book. It's differently than a book that I read just like last year. I mean, I remember most of it, you know. So anyway, that's kind of a stats thing for me. I have like these little like ideas of why I count things and what don't. So I'm trying to explain as I go. I did have 1 DNF this month. Yeah, I had 1 DNF. I also, of the 4 books that I completed that were, that I'm counting, 2 of them were from the library and 2 of them were mine. So that's 2 books I got off my TBR, even though my TBR grew like 4, 5, 6, 7 times more than that. Anyway, through the month. So for total pages actually read during the month, I had 1,511 pages. So that averages out to 54 pages a day, which 50 pages a day is the average that I want to achieve for every month. Doesn't matter how long the month is, doesn't matter what's going on in my life, I always want to hit 50 pages a day average. So there are months definitely that does not happen, but there are months like January, which I was over 120 pages a day average. So, I mean, it just depends on how the reading's going, but I try to average about 50 at least. So I made 54 pages, which is pretty cool. So stat-wise, of the 4 books that I completed, I had 1 4.5 star, so close to a 5, but not quite. And then I had 2 4 stars and 1 3 star. That kind of might slip to 2.5, 2 star. We'll see. Of genres I read, or in fact, star rating wise, I would say the graphic novels were all 4 to 5 star. I would say the ones that I read. So that was pretty good. They were good reads. Genres I read in the books that I finished: 1 fantasy, 2 nonfiction, and 1 contemporary. The graphic novels, I would say they were all science fiction, bent because of the BookTube SFF awards. They were on the short list, or one of their books was on the short list, and I had to read some of the back ones to get to it. But so they're all kind of connected, but they were all pretty much science fiction. And then my rereads were contemporary romances. So, yeah, so I was all over the board. Normal. So my favorite book of the month was by far The City Stained Red by Sam Sykes. I loved this book. I mean, I said there's only one little thing that dropped this from a 5 to a 4.5. I really wish I could get over it, but it did bother me. So there's one little thing, one little character thing that I was not happy with. I'm sure there's a reason for it because this is the first in a trilogy. So hopefully there's a good reason for it. I don't see it yet, but when I get to finish that series. I would say my least favorite book of the month was Crazy Rich Asians by Kevin Kwan. Again, I didn't read a whole lot of books, so there's not too many options, but this is the one I struggle with a lot. I mean, I did finish it, but it was a struggle because half these characters I really, really liked, and then the other ones I really hated because of what they did. And I know that was part of this plot, but you know, it just wasn't for me. I'm not, that kind of drama is not stuff I want to deal with. So I didn't really enjoy that. So I'm, yeah, gonna get rid of that. And then the most disappointing read was The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden, because I hear so many good things about this. And I keep seeing reviews on it because a lot of people are reading it now for the BookTube SFF Awards, and other people who are just picking it up and they're raving about it, and I'm just like, no. So, you know, and I think it's just my how I went into it, but still disappointing when so many people still rave about it, and I'm like, no, that was not for me. So, I think that's everything. I did want to just kind of show, I don't do a lot of bullet journal stuff. I'm really actually not a creative person whatsoever in that realm. But I did make a reading log just to kind of see what it looks like. And I'll probably do it again in March just to see how the pages go. But it's kind of neat to see that, like, in a month where I was working a lot. And again, my scale isn't very good because I didn't know how many pages I'd read. So I made it, a box was 20 pages. Anyway, but you can see that I read quite a bit, and then I kind of faded out here, and then at the end of the month I started reading a lot because I was trying to get done with that Crazy Rich Asians, and it was fast to read even though I didn't like it as much, but I did get through it. So anyway, I don't know, that was kind of stupid, but I thought it's interesting. I just want to kind of, I like to see the stats of how much I read, and again, I have that in my Excel sheet that I keep, but I just thought I'd do it physically for a little bit just for fun, and I don't know. We'll see. I might do it again next month. So anyway, so that is my stats for February 2018. How was your reading month? Did you guys read a lot of pages? So I said, I had 2 books that were on the go that are not in this, that I didn't complete. I had a classic that I was about a third of the way through. I had a nonfiction book. I was about a third of the way through. So those ones are carrying over into March. And but I read, you know, most of those pages in February. So that's kind of how it helped with my page count, even though I physically only read 4 books. Or, you know, like I only read 4, I completed 4. Super weird. Anyway, it's a short month. So anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.